One can't think of doing anything today without social media. It's taking over our world at an alarming pace. And here to discuss its importance is Think Media Labs CEO and founder Ayman Itani. Think Media Labs is a social media boutique agency that aims to help enterprises and international brands targeting Lebanon, the Gulf, and the MENA region thrive by drawing on internet platforms to capture digitally their customers and audiences. Welcome, Ayman.
Hi, Youmna.
So tell me a little bit specifically about what Think Media Labs does for these companies.
We're a social media agency that specializes in helping businesses grow their business online by increasing their sales, growing their online community, understanding the upcoming trends and how it will affect their products and their new launches coming down the line.
And I know, because I've done the research, that recently you've done a specific analysis of who has been tweeting mostly in Lebanon in terms of politicians and singers. Is that correct?
That's true. What we've done is we've developed our own platform that ties closely to Facebook and Twitter and the different social networks. And it allows us to listen closely to the online conversation. And as a demonstration for the power of that, we're looking at the politicians that are active on
Okay, so
Twitter.
who are Lebanon's top politicians?
Well, in April, the latest study that we did is in April. The upcoming one for May will be out in a few days. So in April, the top politicians was the minister Nicolas Sahnawi. He was number one. Number two is Mr. Miati. Number three is Mr. Haddad. And the rest of the study shows that.
Why is it important for people to know that about this study? Who are the top politicians and what they're tweeting about? What are they mostly tweeting about?
Well, recently we've seen a growth of interest by our Lebanese politicians in communicating more with people online via Twitter. And as such, they've been experimenting more with the medium. They've been trying out to see how best to communicate with people. And as such, people have been asking questions about how can I talk to this guy, or what time will be a good time to talk to Mr. X or Mr. Y. So based on that, we launched these studies, and they've been of very interest to a lot of people online.
Yes, you said that. You actually said that the detailed study analysis of Think Media Labs has been of great interest to many media institutions from Lebanon and the Middle East that have come to you for more insight. What do they come to you for?
Well, we analyze not only their activity, but what is it they're talking about, how frequently, the topics, and so on. For example, one of the interesting things that we found is most politicians on Twitter talk more social elements more than political elements.
Can you give me an example?
Well, they talk about things that are happening in our society today. They talk about personal things related to them. They talk about general interests, and which shows two elements. One, they're taking advantage of the social medium itself, having the two-way communication. The second element, people are asking them questions. So people are driving the social element of politicians. They're asking them about their opinion on certain topics, what they did this weekend, what car they drive, what book they read.
So it allows the readers to, and the tweets, as you call them, on Twitter specifically, to be closer to the politicians and get to maybe see them on a more intimate scale.
Well, the alternative would be offline. Would be they have to go through the procedure to find how do I get to these politicians and what are his office hours for me to go and talk to them, and it's a long, laborious process if they can go through that.
I know, and I talked about big blogger Gino Raidi was here a couple of weeks ago, and we talk about the importance of Twitter and Facebook in today's journalism, in today's news, in terms of acquiring the news. People listen to the radio and they watch television, but at the same time, they're on Twitter trying to get the news. So how important is this specifically right now in the region, Twitter and Facebook, you think?
Well, when you see more politicians embracing this medium, and the interesting part is when they say something on Twitter, they get a response from the parliament. These are two different mediums here. If they say something in the parliament, they get a response from the TV, then from the radio, then from Twitter. So basically, Twitter is one of the communication mediums.
Is Twitter the biggest medium in Lebanon?
No, that's Facebook. The
Facebook?
big guy is Facebook.
So what are the top three?
Facebook is number one, definitely. Twitter is number two. And in Lebanon, the third would be most likely LinkedIn. I'll have to get back to you on that.
LinkedIn,
yes.
Okay. We mentioned a new one. We're going to pretend like this is Media 101. Pinterest.
Pinterest, yes.
Please explain to our viewers and myself, what is Pinterest about?
Pinterest is a very graphical way of expressing yourself. So you take pictures that you like, and you showcase them. They could be about anything. They could be about your hobbies, your interests, and so on. So it's like you have a magazine and you're flipping through it, going through only the pictures, ignoring the text. So it's like that, but the pictures are things that you like, and they're very graphical and very nice.
Okay, so it's basically just, it's like going through pictures of a specific, it's like going through the photo album of Facebook. It's very similar to that, or can you follow, can you befriend, how does it work?
You can follow people and so on, but people share more than their own pictures. They share pretty things they see around them. On the street, nice pictures they've taken, illustrations, 3D models.
Is it growing in Lebanon? Is it becoming?
Yeah. In April 30th, we launched the first Pinterest Lebanon directory just last month, and we've had more than 500 submissions for people and brands who want to express themselves there. One of the interesting observations that we've seen is in Facebook with time you gather people that you may not necessarily like from school and university and ex-relationships and so on. So their updates are not of great interest to you. These same people who you're not very interested in their updates, when they express themselves via Pinterest, images only, they're a bit more interesting.
Okay, because why? Why do you think?
Well, because it cuts down on the the blabber, and it's just very visual in a sense.
And is so many more viewers now? When was Pinterest launched? In 2010,
in 2010, but the great growth was in February, March, and April.
Social media is growing now consistently in Lebanon specifically.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of users in Lebanon that are on Path as well, which is a mobile social network that's on iPhone and Android, where you talk about your path during the day, the music that you're sharing, what time you wake up, what is it you're doing. So it's more of a smaller network where you feel more comfortable sharing with a smaller group.
And I'm sure as CEO of Think Media Labs, the future of social media, where do you see it going?
Well, the interesting part is more and more of us are sharing more things online. We're more comfortable with these mediums. So we're coming now to terms with expressing ourselves online. Then we're trying to choose a social network where we feel we can express it the most. So if we want to do it via images, Pinterest is great for that. If we want to do it with a small social network on the go, Path is great for that. And we also have, the big boss, Facebook.
And Twitter as well.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Mr. Itani.
It was good to be here, Youmna.
For more information, please log on to www.thinkmedialabs.com to find out more about Mr. Itani and what he's been doing.